Hi everyone, DreamMayCry here. Today was not a video I planned to make. Today is a video that I honestly wanted to avoid talking about, but I feel like this needs to be brought attention to because a lot of people are simply just making tributes and mourning Technoblade's death. And as much as I want to do that, and as much as I enjoyed Technoblade, who he was as a person, and enjoyed his content as well, I feel like I need to actually discuss what I think will happen in the future. Now, the first question that people have a lot is, what does this mean for the Dream SMP? As Technoblade had, ever since he had joined the Dream SMP, he kind of became a crucial part of it, especially after destroying Lamamber during the Doomsday War and forming the Syndicate. Well, there are multiple possibilities. Now, one possibility is that they somehow make a lore stream that explains as to why Techno will never be seen in the Dream SMP ever again. There's also a possibility that people will just hope that the fanbase accepts that Techno is dead, and that is why he is no longer in the Dream SMP, as it is physically impossible for him to still be there. Another possibility is that Technoblade, or not Technoblade, the Dream SMP ends. They go out with a bang, with maybe one final lore stream, and then it's over for good. Those are the possibilities for the Dream SMP. Another question is, well, what does this mean for the other content creators that worked with Technoblade and knew him and just worked on Twitch and YouTube as a whole? Chances are that these streamers and content creators and video makers and everything are going to take a break from what they do. They probably are just as stressed as us fans are. Chances are they're going to take a break from what they do. I'm really sincerely hoping that they do not leave their platforms or do anything suicidal simply because Technoblade is gone. I'm hoping these streamers can stay strong, just as we do, and continue making content in the future, because them also vanishing does not help the situation. In fact, it makes it worse. Simply because Technoblade is gone does not mean that it's over. Technoblade's death is not the end, in my opinion. It's a new beginning to something great. Now, I'm not saying it could ever be better than Technoblade. Nothing can beat him. But that doesn't mean greatness does not await. Technoblade's death marks the end of a chapter in the life of content creation. It marks the end of an era, and a new era is to be born, and hopefully be just as good and just as loved by the community. Now, what do I think? It really does suck to see Technoblade go, but what I think the rest of what I think the rest of the community should do, in order to stay strong, we need to look at the positive sides. Technoblade, we may never hear from him again, but he's hearing from all of us right now. He's still there, his spirit is still there, and nobody is ever going to forget him. Nobody will ever go down without remembering his name. So what does this mean? Well, like I said, try and look on the bright side of things. The Dream is still alive. Bad Boy Halo is still alive. Skeppy is still alive. Tom Yennett is still alive. Wilbur Soot is still alive. Philza is still alive. Bad Boy Halo is still alive. Spicy. Tabel. Finster. Just Verb. They're all still around. Although Technoblade may have been your favorite, as he was my favorite too, that doesn't mean that Technoblade was the only one that mattered. There are plenty of other streamers, and I'm not saying that you have to replace Technoblade, because he cannot be replaced, but it doesn't mean all is over simply because Technoblade is gone. Minecraft YouTube can continue to live with the streamers that are still with us and are hopefully going to be with us for much longer. Technoblade truly marked an end of an era. From start to finish, Of course, none of us expected this, but we can't simply just keep looking at it and thinking of what could have gone differently. The best course of action is, of course, it's understandable to mourn the death a little bit, but eventually we all have to move on with our lives, because there's nothing we can do to fix it. The only thing we can do is continue moving forward and proving that us humans are strong and that we can grow out of things. As amazing as Technoblade was, and as how much as I loved him more than any other streamer and any other content creator, there are other things that we have to learn. That sometimes things don't always go the way we want it to. Sometimes things just have to roll differently. Sometimes we have to grow out of things. For example, when Skeppy made his video responding to Sunny V2, we saw that Skeppy changed his editing style because he wanted to grow out of things. But people didn't like that. So Skeppy went back to editing the videos himself. And it's been really nice, actually, seeing him go back to his old content. But we can't fix that issue with someone who's no longer alive. At this rate, we have no choice but to move on. Technoblade may be gone, but he'll always be in everybody's hearts, and he will never be forgotten. Goodbye, and if you're watching, I really hope that things go better for you and for everyone else who has heard this news.